So just making our way to Prestwold Hall, where we're going to meet Edward, who's going to tell us a little bit more about the bomber, the German bomber that crashed on the land of Prestwold Hall during the Second World War, and that we saw the graves of in a previous video, searching for Percy.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah, there we go.
That's a big propeller blade.
Well, it's just one bit of the plot.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is, I looked at it when we came in, and I didn't even recognise it as a propeller when we came in. But it's just such a beautiful object. I know that sounds a bit.
But it is.
It's sculpturally. Well, it's an involuntary sculpture, isn't it? It's
And the sign as well. How old was that? Sort of like there, you know.
Yeah, it was say Dornier 17 Prestwold November 14th, and I think it was 1940.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
Are you aware that they're restoring a Dornier D-17 bomber at RAF Cosford?
Yes, I was aware, but I mean I think that's a project they started about 5-6 years ago.
That's right, Edward.
And I actually I thought that they completed it. I think.
They can't do much with it because basically it's just rusty metal, you know, that they got it from the sea, I think, somewhere.
It's a fairly ugly aeroplane, actually.
They're called the Flying Pencil, apparently.
Mm.
But the pilot, the sort of captain, I forgot his name now, Dilfy, who had got an Iron Cross from the Spanish Civil War. They actually used those aeroplanes in the Condor Legion as well. So he might have been flying that same sort of aircraft then as he did in the Blitz.
Yeah.
But then after about 1942, they were taken over by the Junkers 88 as being a more powerful, faster fighter bomber.
Well, of course, the benefit really, today, in terms of sort of aeronautical engineering, is vast. There was such a rapid expansion in research and development of aircraft types. And when it came to bombers, they were the forerunners of modern airliners. Yeah. Able to fly high altitude, long distance, and so that although the war was a terrible and appalling thing,
technology moved.
The spin-offs in terms of aeronautical technology are being felt and benefited to this day.
Yeah, certainly interesting piece. I have to say, it is interesting, isn't it?
Well, I think it was a three-bladed prop.
Yeah.
It's obviously a variable pitch prop.
So I picked up in an old article that the landowners took certain parts of the debris.
Well, that's the only bit of debris I know about.
That's the only bit you know.
And it's been hanging there like that as long as I've known, really.
I think it's great.
Do you have any of the family from the pilots who died ever come over and?
Well, yes, as I say, you'll see them on that CD. I think there's some great nieces.
Yeah.
Who came over to visit the graves,
Yeah.
and then were the subject of the interview in that documentary. So
good.
You'll see that later.
Edward, thanks very much.
Very
interesting.
Yeah,
really interesting.
It's fascinating.
You can smell the age in here as well, can't you?
It's damp. I think that's what.
Is it? I think that's what it is.
I think that's probably.
So this is Prestwold Hall itself. We've just been in the barn and seen the propeller from the old German bomber, and it was really eye-opening actually, and Edward was really interesting on the stories that he told us about how it came to be there. But Russ, what did you feel about seeing the propeller?
Well, it was very interesting. I mean, obviously it was bent, so you can imagine the force of the impact of the crash landing. It's a shame that it was the full propeller set, if you like. I think Edward mentioned that it was a three-bladed propeller, and obviously all we're seeing is just one blade.
You know, for me, I liked it as it was. I
Yeah.
liked seeing the single propeller, not from any engineering point of view, but because it actually looked like a sculptural piece. The way that it had been bent when it hit the ground, a sculptor, an artist couldn't have made it more perfect than that. It's a proper example of involuntary sculpture.
Yeah, and in some ways sad, I suppose, as well, because Edward was saying that it's been there on that wall ever since he can remember. So, you know, it's been there probably since a few days or a few weeks after it crash landed, stuck on that wall.
Wow.
In a stable where
Anyway,
nobody can see it.
We'll say goodbye to Prestwold Hall and
very
be on our
interesting.
way back up the little path here. And we're going to go and view we will view the programme that Edward has lent us, and we'll post it back through his post box when we've looked at it. Thank you very much, Edward. Are we going any further with the German bomber, or are we coming to the end of that story yet?
No, I don't think we have. I think there's two paths I think are left open to us. I think where I would like to go next is RAF Cosford, where they are still restoring a Dornier D-17 bomber that was dug up from, it was over the seabed or the Goodwin Sands or something like that. Hey ho.
Okay, be seeing you.